Top 13 Archaeological Sites That Will Blow Your Mind. The world is dotted with significant archaeological sites that tell a story of our human history. But while impressive archaeological sites can be found in many parts of the world, some locations are imbued with an air of mystery that will boggle even inquisitive minds. From the site previously shunned by researchers as nothing more than a medieval cemetery to the garden, famous as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, here are the top 13 archaeological sites that will blow your mind. If you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button, like the video, and hit the bell icon for timely updates and instant video notifications. Without further delay, let's jump right in. The Parthenon in Athens, Greece. The Parthenon is one of the most iconic archaeological sites in the world. It's also a place where you can see many of the original stones and sculptures that have been preserved by both time and careful restoration work. To walk through the temple and see it in its entirety is an awe-inspiring experience. King Tutankhamun, Egypt. King Tutankhamun was born in 1341 BC and died in 1323 BC. His death resulted from an infection he may have acquired from a broken leg. He was buried alongside his ancestors, who were also buried in the Valley of the Kings. There are no living descendants of King Tut, but his tomb is one of the most visited sites in Egypt, with thousands visiting every year. Stone Spheres, Costa Rica. The stone spheres found in Costa Rica are one of the most mysterious archaeological sites on the planet. These spheres can be found all around Costa Rica, but some of them can only be found during a rainstorm, as they are buried under layers of the earth. The size of these stones ranges from 2.5 to 3 feet in diameter, and their weight is between 400 and 700 pounds. There are over 300 known stone spheres throughout Costa Rica, most of which are in the La Paz region. These ancient stone structures were dated back 5,000 years ago, and there's still no explanation as to how they were created or what they were used for. Qin Shi Huang's tomb, China. The Terracotta Army is the most famous example of Qin Shi Huang's legacy, but it wasn't the only one. Qin Shi Huang's tomb was discovered in 1974 in Hunan Province, China, and its contents have proven to be just as impressive as the Terracotta Army. The site was excavated and opened to visitors in 2010 after a massive restoration project. The tomb takes visitors on a time-traveling journey through ancient China, showing them what life was like for the country's first emperor. The Great Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. With their immense size and intricate details, the Pyramids of Giza have fascinated people for centuries. Built in the 4th dynasty, the pyramids were initially designed as tombs for pharaohs, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is the largest of the 3 pyramids, and it's also known as the Great Pyramid of Khufu's Pyramid. It was built with blocks that covered 6 acres of land and was originally 481 feet high. The Temple of Artemis, Turkey. The Temple of Artemis in Turkey is a perfect example of an archaeological site that will blow your mind. The temple was built in about 550 BC to honor the goddess Artemis, and it's one of the few ancient structures you can actually go inside. This temple is also a good example of how some structures have been used for multiple purposes. Initially, the temple was used as a place for worship, and then it became a Christian church where people would come to be baptized into Christianity. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, Turkey. Constructed in 353 BC, the Halicarnassus Mausoleum is one of Turkey's most iconic archaeological sites. The building was originally planned to be a tomb for King Mausolus and his wife, Artemisia II of Caria. However, it was never used as a tomb because Artemisia died before the structure's completion. Instead, it became a temple dedicated to the god Apollo, and it's believed to have been one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The mausoleum was destroyed by an earthquake in 227 AD. Today, visitors can explore some parts of its foundation and find pieces from statues that once adorned its walls. The Colossus of Rhodes, Greece. An example of archaeological site that will blow your mind is the Colossus of Rhodes in Greece. The iconic statue was a striding bronze figure with long arms and a long beard, built by Rhodian sculptor Charos of Lindos around 290 BC to honor the god Helios. The statue stood over 30 meters, 100 feet high, and would have been one of the tallest statues ever made had it not been destroyed in an earthquake around 226 BC. Pieces of it were used to make other sculptures that can be seen today in museums around Europe and North America. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, Egypt. Many archaeological sites will blow your mind. One such site is the Lighthouse of Alexandria in Egypt. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was built by the Ptolemaic dynasty in 280 BC. It was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and it remained for 1,500 years before being destroyed by an earthquake on July 21, 1303. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Iraq. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon were among the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Located on the east bank of the Euphrates River, this is where Nebuchadnezzar II built a magnificent pleasure garden for his wife, Amidis. There's no evidence to suggest that these gardens were literally hanging from cliffs. Most likely, this was an allusion to their great height. Nebuchadnezzar II also constructed a ziggurat in Babylon, which was an ancient Mesopotamian temple tower with a flat top. The gardens and ziggurat have not been found due to centuries of war, but their location is considered near Baghdad or northern Iran. Nazca Lines, Peru. The Nazca Lines are a series of geoglyphs in the Nazca Desert, created by ancient Nazcan people. These lines can only be seen from the air, as they are etched into a high plateau that sits about 7,500 feet above sea level. The figures are comprised of long straight lines and geometric shapes, including triangles and spirals. There's no consensus on what the purpose of these designs were. They may have been used for rituals or ceremonies regulated to agriculture or water. The site itself is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's been open to visitors since 2005. Gobekli Tepe, Turkey. The Gobekli Tepe archaeological site is a set of structures that were built in the 10th century BCE. This site is one of the most important locations for understanding agricultural and religious life in Anatolia, as well as Mesopotamia. It was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2014. The name Gobekli Tepe translates to Pot Belly Hill. The site has been known by this name since it was first discovered and studied. Gobekli features massive T-shaped stone pillars with carvings depicting animals such as boars, foxes, lions, birds, and snakes. The pillars are covered with reliefs and symbols that show different types of scenes, including hunting scenes, star maps, and even images of plants. Holy Jar, Pakistan. The Holy Jar is a ritual vessel found in the archaeological site of Mohenjo-Daro. It's so named because it was a hole in the bottom for pouring water or other liquids during rituals. The vessel has been dated to about 2,600 years ago and was used by the Harappans, who are considered to be one of the earliest civilizations on Earth. The jar is an excellent example of early craftsmanship with its fine finish and thin walls. The Harappans were experts at creating pottery, sculpture, jewelry, and crafts from materials such as gold and bronze. The utilitarian nature of their work is seen in items like this jar, with its practical use for rituals and its beauty that reflects their high-level skill. Which of these ancient places is your favorite? Which one would you love to visit? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to check out our other binge-worthy videos that could make your heart whoosh. Thank you for watching.